Hi guys, how you all doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chinyere of Juliettsstyleglam. If this is your first time on my channel, thank you so much for being here. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, well, thank you for being a part of this wonderful, amazing, growing channel. All right. So today, well, first of all, I want to, first of all, before we go further, I just want us to take a moment to remember the amazing woman called Cicely Tyson. Cicely Tyson was someone who captured me when I was very, very young, very, very young. And where she captured me was in her movie titled The Woman Called Moses. I looked for that movie so much because I watched it in passing, as a child, as a growing child. And I recall I cried so much in that movie. Oh my God, I cried so, so much in that movie. And, I kept wondering, I was like, where is she? And then, boom, all of a sudden, well, thanks to the internet, I was able to find her. So I want us to, take a moment to actually celebrate that woman called Cicely Tyson. And somehow, in some ways, today's video is going to be reflecting, or in a notch, or in a little way, talking about, stereotypes and removing stereotypes and, what culture or society has said or deemed women are or should be. So, we are going to, get right down into it first of all. And then, of course, if you want to hear what I have to say, please, do not fail to wait and subscribe to that channel. Please subscribe. Subscribe. What else again is left if you're here every time I upload? Okay. All right. So we're back. Now, today's video, I'm going to be talking about patriarchy, misogyny. If you haven't seen my last video, I'm going to put it up here. My last video, we were talking about, female genital mutilation, and in a way, there are similarities between last video and this video. Okay. So, today's video, we're going to be talking about, the role of patriarchy because she's successful. So she's a successful woman. So what? Okay. Why must it be a man who gave her the money? Why must she have to have prostituted herself for her to make money? And I just want to break it down for us in a couple of sentences, okay? So why I actually, became more determined to actually do this video was the fact that there was this video that went around sometime last week about an interior decorator in Nigeria, a very beautiful woman who's running an interior decorator business. And she talked about the fact that, she puts up a video, people say she's trying to show off, she shows her house, she does things like that, and they say she's showing off, but she was talking about the fact that the nature of her business, permits her or makes it that she, she must or she has to, stick, videos and put up photos. Again, she's an interior decorator. Now, if we look at the circumstances, I think she said that a lot of people said, that a man gave her money and they were doing all sorts of, and saying a lot of things. And I just want to tell, people out there, I just want to tell you men out there and even women, because unfortunately, many of the people who spoke against her, many of the people who, rather than celebrate her, went around saying horrible things about her were women. And I think society has made us, decide or raise us to understand that every woman out there is your enemy. And I just want to tell us something today. If we do not have women of power in strategic places, we will remain coward. We will remain abused. We will remain in positions that will always keep us at disadvantage. And for us to be able to rise as women, we must always be able to uplift other women. And when we have women of repute and power in strategic positions, celebrate them. Celebrate them, because the fact that they are there means you can be there. The fact that they are there means that there is someone who can speak for you. There is someone who can defend you. There is someone who can raise your matter and take it upon her back. That is our role as women. We are not here as women to throw each other down. We are not here as women to talk about how much of a prostitute you are because you're able to make money out of prostitution. Come off it. I mean, let's be real, according to Talma. Come off it. Let's get down to the integrity. She's a prostitute, and so what? Prostitution is the oldest profession since the beginning of time. Who's going to take it away from you? I mean, why are we all behaving like we are holier than thou? The lady who redeemed the Israelites in the Bible was a prostitute. God raised a prostitute to deliver the Israelites. Then what the hell or what the fuck do you think calling a woman like you a prostitute amounts you to? Have you decided to find out her life story? Do you know what she has been passing through? Do you think that she decided to be a prostitute or wants to be a prostitute by her own volition? Have you thought of the fact that, checking her backstory, if you would even find it? Because, like it or not, each and every one of us have a story. Each and every one of us have a story to go by. So, a woman who is prostituting and you open your mouth as a fellow woman, where is your compassion? Where is your kindness? Where is your love? Where is your empathy? You guys, you're going to give me a minute because I need to drink something. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I just started feeling really, really sick. I suffer from dizzy spells, but it's been a long time I had this, and this one seems very funny. Doesn't seem like the usual. Anyway, so like I was saying, please just pardon my countenance for the rest of this video. I can't move my eye. When I turn my head or shake my head, I really feel like it's, I'm spinning. Oh, shit. So, I can't do this. Not now. All right, guys, I'm back. Yeah, that is how it happens with me. I have to always take a break. But today's own was pretty different. I'm sure I look like I'm very tired right now. Today's own was pretty different because I felt like throwing up, which I did throw up a little bit. I know that's some TMI, but I'm sure looking at me, I look pretty tired. Okay. Okay, so back to our topic of today. Okay, so I want to go back to women slut shaming women. I want to go back to the fact that why is it hard, especially in Africa and Nigeria? I'm going to speak for Nigeria because that's where I come from, and it's something that's been so frequent. Well, that why is it hard that a woman's success is a threat to other women and to men and to society at large? And I'm going to say this, that any man who is so uncomfortable with a woman's success, okay, you have no business getting married. You have no business having a girlfriend. You've got no business doing anything with any woman, because at the end of the day, since you're so threatened by her, okay, I mean, then be by yourself, change partners, become something else. But you do not get a woman who is at her pinnacle or who could be more and then get to make her redundant. Did you know that 90% of women who are married, 90% of women who are married have not reached their full potential because of their husbands. Are you aware? Have you put yourself in that demographic and wondered, what if it were me? How would I feel? Do you know what it means to be stifled? Do you know what it means to be told that because you're my wife, I don't want you to work, and I want to take care of the children. I mean, taking care of children is as old as time. And I think this is one of the places I'm going to challenge married couples who have successful wives. I'm going to challenge their husbands to speak up, because there is something wrong in the formula. You guys are getting the formula right. There's something wrong with the formula. Have you thought of the fact that, okay, what when this woman, okay, you guys hit a financial rough patch, and then your wife seems to be doing well. What happens? Have you thought of the fact that both of you are supposed to be leaning on each other? So calling a woman a prostitute, calling her different sorts of names because you feel that, a man is giving her money. Let me ask you people, do you think that it is easy for a woman to go sleep with a man and collect millions? That is the best form of marketing you can ever do. Do you understand what it means that a woman will sleep with a man and be collecting millions from him? Investments in her name. Have you understood that there is a level of intelligence involved in that? And if you need that intelligence to work for you, I think you better go and befriend that woman and ask her, how market? Let me know now. Yes. I want to bring you up to speed with another example. There is a place in Igbo land. Well, I'm not going to exclude every other part of Igbo land. There's a place in Igbo land. I'm not going to call their name. And it is horrible, because I'm going to be doing another video also based on this. It is horrible how women who are there are treated. The women are treated like second-class citizens. The women and when their husbands die, okay, a woman and her children are thrown out of their home, and their property seized, everything they own taken away from them, and the said woman is thrown out in the streets with no care for her children, with no care for her. Did you know that the people who do this are not far away family members? These are brothers, sisters, they are the same people whom the same woman sits down, prepares food for. And I'm asking women, why do you decide to be your own enemy? Why would you decide to be your own enemy? To see another woman's success is a threat to you. Why? Hey, God. At times, I wonder. I've had friends. I recall at the time when we were, growing up. I had friends who, finished from college and got married immediately. I was shocked. I was like, why should you be getting married now? I mean, you're still, 17, 18? And I recall I asked one of them at the time and said, what about school? Because for me, that was the only thing that was fathomable. What about school? I said, oh, my husband said that I will continue after the wedding, after our marriage. And I said, Now, suffice it to say that that story was for the gods. Yes. So why is there a challenge to you? Women, wake up. Take the mantle. The NSAS movement that took place, what happened? Who led NSAS? Who planned finances? Who created the avenue for NSAS to be a success? Women. And then you stand up, you sit up, and you decide that you want to talk about a woman's success. Are you not aware that a woman's success is liberation for other women? Are you not aware that a woman's success is liberation for every woman all over the world? One thing that happens to her happens for everyone and to everyone. Again, like I said last week, I cut out a video about FGM, which I'm going to fix. I'm going to put in this video as well, so that you'll be able to be aware that certain things that are done to women or certain acts that are carried out to women are all forms of human rights abuse. How do you justify or quantify a successful woman? I was watching Mo Abudu's interview on CNN, and she said something about being the kind of person she is, very, very thorough, very, very, about getting the job done. In a man's world, and she made that statement, she said, I'm sure if I were a man, she made that statement, she said, I'm sure if I were a man, no one would look at it anyway, and no one would bat an eyelid over it. After all, it's a man. But before she calls she's a woman, they would say she's angry, she's frustrated, she's this, she's that. But this is just a woman who is trying to be successful in the profession she has chosen, in the media profession. Again, are you aware that majority of women in Nigeria, even after their husband's death, cannot access their husband's bank accounts? Are you also aware that a lot of women in Nigeria, even when they have kids, cannot lay claim to that child, even when the man is a lowlife, even when the man cannot boast of one kobo inside that child's life? Even if that child has to go there and suffer and drink guerres or whatever, and there's a woman who can actually do what it, she would have to present all manner of she has to present all manner of papers to lay claim to a child that she bore. She could have decided that she didn't want to have that child. She could have decided that she wanted to get rid of the pregnancy, but she bore it. She took the pain. She went it for 9 months. And then automatically, she becomes what? Someone who doesn't own a child. I mean, let's begin to think. Let's think and let's put this in perspective. The president of Nigeria, I don't even know if he's a president. I don't even know whether he's alive. The guy is like a walking dead. Opened his mouth and at an international summit and spoke that his wife, his own wife, that he doesn't understand or does not know her business in political affairs, whereas her role is in the other room. And I will put this forward again, that women will remain our biggest enemy. And I think we should get on the program and understand that we cannot remain our enemies. Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris took up positions in the United States. The photos of them and the photo ops that were given only spelled one thing: powerful. It can be done. Everything that they represented, and even Joe Biden's wife, every look they had on, every step they made, everything they had on them said one thing: we did it, we can do it, and we can do more, because that woman is going to be the next president of the United States, and you can take that to the bank. And I will implore you all, vote for her when the time comes. So I do not understand why another woman would feel threatened by another woman's success. I do not understand why a woman has to become successful and then it must be a man behind her. Why? I cannot imagine the comments I saw. Is a man that gave her, look at the picture of her doing this, look at the picture of, my dear, what you should be thinking about is, how do I get to know this woman and become her friend? What do I need to learn from her that I am not learning? What do I need? What is the formula she's applying that I need to apply? That is the question you should be asking yourself, rather than allowing jealousy to becloud your mind. again, I will go back to another popular saying. The end justifies the means. A lot of people do not understand what that means. And I will implore you, please take a listen. Again, by now, I believe you have subscribed to this video. Please, don't mind me, my eyes cannot move a lot because I feel if I have to move my head I start feeling woozy. So please bear with me. Now I want to explain. Let me break it down. If you are not yet subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. The subscribe button is down there. Subscribe and hit the notification button so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be very aware. Okay? What the end justifies the means. What does it mean? And let me explain it to you if you have not understood. That means that you could have become a drug addict or a drug dealer to make money. You could have become a prostitute to make money. You could have done 1,000,001 things that are too unsavory to mention because you needed money to move on or to move up. Okay? But then you make the money, you drop the unsavories, and then move up. That is what the end justifies the means. That is what it's all about. Because we are not born equal. We are not all equal. Some people have the silver spoons, okay? While there are those who don't have it. And well, there are those whom, by society, because of society's standards, they knew that they could not make this money if they did not do this. There are so many of them. We've got Jay-Z, we've got Dr. Dre, we've got so many of them. They wanted to face the music. They wanted the music to be their business. But they didn't have they at the time, they were stuck for funds to be able to do what they wanted to do. So they went into what they knew how, drugs. And then after that, they left it, used what they were able to make, and then moved into what they wanted to do. When we talk about hip-hop legends today in the US, there is no way you cannot call any artist without calling the likes of Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Jay-Z. Another story for you, maybe you have not heard. The video should be somewhere on YouTube. I'll find it and link it also in this video. Chanel. I am a lover of Chanel. I love Chanel. I use Chanel. My first perfume was the Chanel. My first perfume. And my dad bought me that perfume. I fell in love with Chanel when I was a kid. When I had the opportunity to watch and listen to her biography, Chanel solicited men for money. Yes, the brand you also love. Chanel solicited men for money. But then she knew that it wasn't sustainable. Chanel had something. She had eye for fashion. She had eye for good taste. So Chanel began to, divert the money into a brand. The brand that we all know today, known as Chanel. The brand that gives us the most beautiful bags, leather bags, perfumes you can think about. Everything Chanel makes till date has a story behind it, just like most designers. But hers is in depth. As I said, I'm going to put the video in this video. Chanel did not start as Chanel the bourgeois, no. And guess what? Again, Chanel turned those men into clients because those clients now began to buy stuff from her for their wives. And today, the brand known as Chanel is worldwide. You guys, wake up! Wake up and smell the roses and then differentiate what the roses are from the thorns and the bushes. Wake up. If you've not known any of this, now I'm telling you, stop slut-shaming women. Women, stop slut-shaming one another. It's horrible. It's a sad situation. How do we go about when we're supposed to be uplifting one another and then we turn it into something of slut-shaming and shaming another woman? Are you not aware as well that your net worth is your net worth? And I'm going to put the person who makes this quote a lot. She's my friend. I'm going to put her name in this video. She says, your network is your net worth. Take that to the bank, and it is true. Many of you do not even understand that by the time, or whatever you think that a woman is, whether she is an aristo or runs girl or whatever it is she's doing, she is creating a network. While you people are busy thinking that, okay, Ahis is whatever, she created her network. Like it or not, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to think about it, if she did it or not, it's none of my business. But somewhere along the line, she created a network that pays into her business. It doesn't pay into her vagina. It pays into her business. Because she has created the standard that she's looking for to be able to sell what she wants to sell. That is being intelligent. That is using your head. So guys, I'm sorry, this video would seem a little bit off, so please bear with me because as you all are aware, I wasn't feeling so good. So at the end of the year, in conclusion, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that I think we should stop the slut shaming and we should learn to celebrate our fellow women. Okay? I know that there are some women that, are not, they are not going to be, a lot of people may not be agree with this video. Yeah, but the reality is, whom are we doing? Who are we destroying? Who are we tearing apart? One last example before I leave. When Christ was doing his work, the woman who was a prostitute was being threatened to be stoned to death. And all of them read that, stone her, because what? She's a prostitute, right? Exactly. Going back to that same language, prostitute. And then he only asked them just one question. One question. Whoever amongst you who has never sinned should be the first to cast the stone. It's so easy to look and point one finger at someone. Meanwhile, you got 4 pointing back at you. And that's what I'm going to leave you all with today. Leave your comments in the description, in the comment section below. Okay? Do not fail to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on to my next video. And of course, do not fail as well to I've forgotten what I wanted to say. I'm so sorry. I'm just not okay today. Do not fail to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and click notification button so that every time I upload, you will be aware that I've uploaded the video. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Again, of course, do not fail to follow me on all my social media networks. It's all juliettsstyleglam, except Twitter, which is julietstyle. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.